Hello students! I wanted to send a quick video message to let you know what's coming up in week 9. So we are at the beginning of week 9 right now, so let's go through this week and see where you can find all the material you need and where everything is. So at the beginning of the week we are starting with chapter 12, so hopefully you've already started reading that. The lecture video is up on Canvas as well, so I'll show you that in just a second. So remember to have that done before you do your discussion board. As a reminder, the initial discussion board post is due Wednesday night. So a lot of you have been posting both your initial discussion board post and your replies on Saturday. That doesn't really help other students because it doesn't allow for a lot of discussion. You're just posting a couple things, but you're not coming back, not reading other students' posts, not giving them time to respond to you. So if you're in a classroom type setting, you might say something, another student might reply to that, and then you might get to reply back, or another student adds on to that, and then you get to reply back. The teacher chimes in, and then other people add in. So that's what I want the discussion boards to be on our discussion board assignments. So make sure that you're posting early so that people can reply to you, you can come back and check and reply to them, and that you can learn together. Especially with this week's discussion board, you've had these a couple times where you'll make your own exam questions. So make your own exam questions, see what other students make, and then come back and see what other students are making. Answer more questions. It'll be good prep for your exam. So again, Chapter 12 Smart Book is due as well. So read and review the lectures for Chapter 12. And so our exam on Exam 3 is over chapters, let me get this right, so we've got chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12 are what your exam number 3 will be covering. So the exam opens like other ones on Friday morning, so at 12 a.m. essentially on the 17th. So you have between then and then July 18th at 11:59 p.m. to take it. So make sure that you start it a couple hours before that deadline of the 18th at 11:59 p.m. because you do have that 80-minute time limit, so you need to make sure that you're taking it at least 80 minutes before that deadline, because if it hits that deadline, the exam will just close, even though you would have had, say, another 10 or 20 minutes to be able to take the exam. So take it earlier rather than later, especially since you can have technology problems. Maybe you can't get into the test, maybe your computer freezes, so taking it earlier is better than taking it later. So I really like this chapter on socio-emotional development in early adulthood. I think it's really relevant to a lot of the students because a lot of you are in early adulthood. Some of you are a little past that, but a lot of students who are in college are early adults, so it's very relevant. I do think your book does a disservice of not covering other kind of relationships in as much detail. So it kind of briefly talks about friends and parents and siblings, but it focuses a lot on romantic relationships, which I think is useful, and there's probably more research on that in general, but I do think there is a lot of good research that we can cover on other topics. So if you got a little taste of something from the book or our lecture or from the discussion board last week that you wanted to dive into more, that could be a good topic for your question paper. So again, question papers are due Friday on the 17th, so make sure you're getting that in as well. So again, it's good to start those question papers early on in each unit. So after we finish up with chapter 3 or with exam 3, start thinking about what you want to do for your final question paper. So if it's in chapter 13, that'd be great. You can get it done and not have to worry about it as we get towards the final. So with those question papers, make sure you're reading the comments that I leave on your question papers. So go back to question paper 2, see the comments I make sure you're making those changes so you can get full credit on those assignments. So have a great week. I'm excited to see your new question papers. That's one of my favorite assignments in the class, to be able to read the things that are interesting to students and what you've learned about those topics. So I really love that assignment. It sometimes takes me a little while to grade because I get so involved in reading them, but I really like to see the things that interest you as students. And hopefully you've liked this unit. I think these adolescent and early adult years are really relevant, and I hope you learned some things that you can use in your life and maybe in your work as well.